Hey everybody, welcome back to IP Farms. Today's video is going to be just a little bit different, more or less a review of the welder that I use on some of the videos. Soybean farmer had requested a little more information, and some of you other guys have asked a few questions along the line, so just thought I'll do a little breakdown of the welder and the history on it and what I think about it. So bring it back in just a minute. Okay everybody, try this. Hopefully it's not too shaky holding it in my hand. This is a Lincoln Pro MIG 180. It's a 250 volt welder. We've had it probably, I was trying to figure it up, it's got to be pushing 17 or 18 years. I'm going to knock on some wood here behind. Never had a minute's trouble out of it. This little machine has welded some and then some over the years. There's nothing that it won't do. Like I said, it's not a great big machine, but it does everything that I want it to do. Always has. We used to mess with cars a whole lot, and we did quite a bit of welding on frames and bumpers and whatnot. Believe you me, you put a bead of weld down with it, it'll stay. I run 030 wire. Usually get the 11-pound spool there. Run basically the 75-25 mix argon. There's a little something different in it. I'm not going to divulge that. That's just my little trade secret. It does help out some. It makes the rust issues a little more prevalent. You've seen that some in our videos. You got to get it a little bit cleaner, but when you get it clean or on fresh material, it really does nice. Just picked up this little weld cart recently at, I believe it was Napa. I picked it up. We had it on the little stool that you see here in the shop sometimes that I'm using. Table saw stool, and it was aggravating moving the bottle around, so I just picked this cart up. We usually keep it at my buddy's shop until I started this project up here. That's where it is. We have a cart built for it, and then on the bottom we've got the TIG welder and the two bottles on the back. So when we brought it up here, I needed something to make it more mobile in the shop. But to answer your question, soybean farmer, I don't know how they are today, how much they've changed them, but I would buy another one in a heartbeat if I knew it was going to be this good. Never had any trouble out of it at all. Like I said, original gun, original leads, original liner. It's always been on gas, of course. We just run, I made up a extension cord. It's number 6 SEW cable. I used to work at Electrical Supply House, but it's about a 20-foot extension cord. We just made the regular plug here in a regular electrical box. It's a little tedious, but they last a lot longer than the plastic body ones, so it's just your standard 50 amp plug there in a 4x4 square box. And then of course the other end is just a Hubble 50 amp male connector, and we do that just so we can move it around the shop. I used to have a lot bigger shop years ago, and that way we could plug it in and run it where we needed to. Number 8 is all you need on this for the amount of amps it pulls, so we did a number 6 for the distance in the drop cord. Let's see what else. The wiring here, this is old, been here for 25 plus years, but it's just a little 100 amp homeline box. I run a 2-pole 50 amp breaker on it. It's just got some number 6 SCR service cable, since it's indoors, down to a female, I believe that's a Levington plug there. That's it. Never trips the breaker, never have any issues. That's a short run, of course. The electrical here is not the greatest. I have the barn circuits on here. I have a 220 breaker for my air compressor, and then I have a 15 amp breaker for the barn circuit, and I have a 20 amp breaker here in the shop for the lights and receptacles. We used to have, and still do actually, I believe it's a Lincoln 110. Basically the same design, it just doesn't run gas. Runs flex core wire. That's what we started out with before we bought this one, and same deal. I welded way more than it was supposed to, and did fine, but the flex core is a little aggravating, and that wire got unreal expensive. So we bought this, and that's what we've had ever since. I do have the old Lincoln Tombstone stick welder. And that's usually what most farmers use, especially doing it like I do, not big scale, huge shops. But the problem that we have is the rods. I've tried several different ways to keep the moisture out of the rods, and just being here with an open shop without the door on it, we just get moisture in the rods, and it's just more of a pain than anything. I've tried the refrigerator trick with a light bulb in it. It's so damp in here when the humidity's up that, you know, it just wasn't worth it. I've always MIG welded myself. Not very good at TIG welding. I actually cut my teeth years ago stick welding, learned in high school, and from a gentleman that my dad used to be friends with years ago. I watched him when I was just knee-high to a grasshopper weld, and I really got intrigued about it. So in high school, in shop class, I really got good at stick welding and just kind of excelled from there. I've been certified a couple different times at different jobs I've had, but mostly MIG. I've spray arc before. I'll say ahead of time, I'm not a professional at this by any means. I used to be a lot better at it than I am now. I don't do it every day, and shakiness in my hands and my eyesight seems to be going downhill a little bit. It's not as easy to see the beads and what the material I'm working with and stuff, so that plays a factor in it. But for what I do here and what I've done in the past, we don't have any issues. I never have. Anything high strength that I've welded, if it's broke anything, it's broke or bent the metal that I've welded to. Never had any issues there, so we're going to keep using it. A little aggravating on the farm, like I said, with you got to get it extra clean, and with the particular gas I run, a little bit cleaner than normal with the MIG machine. But anyway, if any of you guys have any more questions about anything concerning the Lincoln welder here that you've seen me use, feel free to drop it down in the comments of this video or any of them. I'll be glad to answer your question the best I can. Like I said, I'm not a professional by any means. Just been doing it for probably 35 years, I would say. I was welding when I was 6 or 7 years old. It wasn't the best, but I learned it early. So anyhow, I think that one will wrap up this video. I think I answered all the questions that you had asked Soybean Farmer about it. Definitely would buy it again. You never know, being that much of a time span, whether it's going to be as good as this one, but never had any issues whatsoever. And the gift fairy stopped by today. Wanted to show this. Got a creeper. That's something that I have never had in this shop as long as I've been working in here. I always lay on cardboard on the floor, and I'm getting older, and I don't know if my dad watched the video or just felt sorry for him or what, but it was a quite pleasant surprise the day he pulled up here and had me a creeper. I think he got it from Harbor Freight. So that's pretty ironic, because I was struggling with the fact I was going to have to lay on the cold concrete putting those bushings in the truck. But he surprised me with that, and thank you a lot for that, Dad. Means a lot. So I'll show you guys that. It's the small things with me. Like I said, it's a daily journey. I'm getting there slowly but surely. Love to do all this equipment repair and rebuilding and whatnot. Hopefully get in the fields, and we'll just keep going from there. So again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the ones that have subscribed. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content. Share the video with anybody that you feel comfortable with, and let me know what else you want to see, if there's anything in particular. Until next time, thank you.